obviously Tomlin, when these things happen, he's a defensive backs guy by trade.
What's Andy Weidel saying to anybody?
And that's exactly what I was going to bring up. You've got two guys in your organization who had thorough scouting reports on Slay, not just where his play was at currently, but also the kind of person he would be and what he would bring to this team. Andy Weidel, who comes from Philly, and Terrell Austin, who coached Slay in Detroit. And I think those guys have to have some culpability in this signing backfiring the way that it did. They probably vouched for him. They advocated for him. But again, this is why this Steelers mishmash hodgepodge of trying to win while also trying to be mindful of the future is not working. They're trying to have it both ways. And that's how you get Darius Slay on your roster. We don't actually really want to go out and invest a lot of money in a free agent corner who might be in his 20s. So let's instead find some kind of chicken wire and duct tape signing who can help make us just good enough this year to make the playoffs and maybe win a playoff game. And if it doesn't work, well, it only really hurts us for 2025, and there are no long-term ramifications or consequences to the deal.
They gave $10 million to a cornerback in his mid-30s who was average at best for a team that had way better talent around him that they could protect him with.
They turned Darius Slay into a football charity case. Here is a $10 million contract. Enjoy retirement, pal. Exactly.
They might as well have signed him and handed him a golden Rolex when they did it, too. Here, buddy, thanks for your years of service in the NFL. Here's Rob Lowe to present you with a League Shield hat. Just a wretched evaluation. I was skeptical of that one. I think almost all of us were. I don't know very many Steelers fans that were like, hell yeah, big play Slay from the start. So
yes, he was big play Slay all right for the other team when they threw the ball at Darius Slay this year. Darius Slay this year.
It's one of those times where when all the fans seem to be like Don, sometimes when all the fans think one thing, it's actually no, the team does know better. Because sometimes that occasionally bears out to be true. Like they get it right with an evaluation. There are other times though, and as you pointed out, quote tweeting Kabali, it's happening way too often these days. It seems like it's happening all the time now, where if people are skeptical of a Steelers move, they are proven right to be in the end. That the move blows up in their face. You could hear Tomlin talk about it today with that tortured explanation of why they played Samuel and what they were preparing for and could sense that this was coming. Everybody but the people who make millions of dollars to make these decisions had a pretty good idea of how this was going to go. And they still went ahead and did it.
It's another example. The theme of today's show has been Tomlin's response when he was asked by, what's her name, Marissa?
No, Marcy Cipriani.
Marcy Cipriani from Channel 4.
She's a news reporter there. She does a very good job, actually.
And
Ashley
she
Leone
went and
had the day
asked
off.
Mike about the fire Tomlin chance, and he said, in general, I agree with them. And I have asked our listeners today, if you were Art Rooney, we know the actual Art won't because he has no balls. But if you were Art, would you fire Mike Tomlin at the end of the year? And the vast majority of our listeners who have called in or texted in or tweeted in or commented on YouTube or commented or mentioned on X, because we're streaming there too on our 93.7 The Fan page, have said yes, they would fire Mike. This is another arrow in the quiver for doing it.
Another data point.
Misevaluations on players.
$10 million, right? Was that what it was? $10 million.
Your head coach thinks, oh, yeah, he's old for a corner, but he's still good enough and great enough where he can serve and he can have a pretty big role on our team. I believe in this guy enough to make this move. He's at
an age where most cornerbacks are either one of two things. Retired from the NFL, which there's a chance he will be because I could see no team picking him up.
Yep.
Or playing safety because they've retooled their career and they've lost a step, so they have the knowledge and know how to play back there.
Just their secondary decisions, I think, exemplify just how kind of lost they are as a team. Okay, they're still good enough to be 500, but why they're not like separating themselves from.
They're trying to win games. They're not trying to plan. Pony, they're not planning. They're not making any long-term plans. It's all what's 5 feet ahead of them.
Yes, but what I'm saying too is when they do moves 5 feet ahead of them, they're not even really getting those right. Mike, Jalen Ramsey can be our queen on the chessboard. He can play everywhere. Well, actually, it made the entire defense worse because everybody was discombobulated. They couldn't get on the same page, and guys were running wide open. Okay, they had to scrap that. Juan Thornhill, we ask our free safety to line up 30 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Why pay Minka $20 million a year to do that when we can pay this guy $3 million? So bad he's gone halfway through the season and benched. You traded for a guy who was a backup on another team and started him 2 days later because you were rightly so disenchanted and disillusioned by how badly that guy was playing. Now this, where a veteran you gave double-digit millions to became a healthy scratch, and I would probably also, if I were guessing, file this under the we want hostages and not volunteers. Yeah, you want to give Asante Samuel Jr. playing time. Yeah, you don't want to lose him to somebody else on your practice squad. More breaking news. What the heck? What's going on now?
The Steelers have made a claim for Adam hooked on a Thielen.
Oh my God! They just got rid of the old cornerback. Let's bring on the old wide receiver.
We wanted him last year at the trade deadline and we couldn't get him, so why not do it now?